So today I want to share with you some very important information that dramatically affects the way our bodies age and therein also how our skin ages. And that is to do with the role of antioxidants and free radicals and how they impact our body and how they impact our health. So if you want to live your life with an abundant energy supply, if you want to have clarity of thinking, if you want to have radiant, beautiful skin, then you need to understand how antioxidants and free radicals work. So I want to start off with looking at the role of antioxidants, because we do hear a lot about antioxidants in our news feeds, our social media. It's even on the packages of food we buy. It's in our skincare. But what is the role and how does it impact our health? We need to understand not just what it is, we need to understand where it comes from and really also why we need them. So let's start off with antioxidants. So very simply put, an antioxidant is a molecule that combats, in fact, neutralizes unstable molecules in our body. Now, our bodies actually produce an endogenous supply of antioxidants. So we produce glutathione, we produce L-carnitine, alpha-lipoic acid. So these are all endogenously produced. However, we also get antioxidants through our diet. And the main source of exogenous antioxidants in the diet would be in plants. And for example, if you look at brightly colored greens, they get their color from a pigment called carotenoids. And these carotenoids are a very high source of antioxidants in our food. Now, let's talk about free radicals a little bit more, because we all see free radicals as the bad guys, and that's in fact not always the case. So free radicals, if they're left unchecked, yes, they are definitely harmful to the body because they damage our cell membranes, they damage our DNA, they damage enzymes. But free radicals are also, first of all, something that our body naturally produces. In fact, every single moment of the day, when we are producing our body's energy currency, a byproduct of that series of reactions is the generation of free radicals. So this is a normal process. And free radicals are also helpful to our body in the case of fighting off harmful bacteria and viruses. So they're not always the bad guys. So then when do problems happen for our body? So I want you to think about a balanced scale statue with free radicals on one side and antioxidants on the other. Now, normally when both sides are in perfect balance, we have what's called homeostasis in the body. So there's enough antioxidants to neutralize the production of free radicals. The problem happens when we are out of balance and we are generating far more free radicals than we are antioxidants. So now we are in an unbalanced state. We have excess free radicals that are scavenging around, damaging our DNA, and this is known as oxidative stress. And this is where the problem starts to happen. I want you to look at the list of all the causes of excess free radical production. It's actually quite extensive. Ultraviolet radiation, smoke, pollution, poor nutrition, stress, lack of sleep, even over-exercise, alcohol, medications. These are all sources of increasing free radical production in our body. Now, based on how we live our lives, it's not hard to understand that most of us are at some point generating excess free radicals and are in a condition known as this oxidative stress. Now, it's normal to have acute bouts of oxidative stress as we journey through life, but the problem really is that chronic level of oxidative stress that never goes away, and that's what really causes damage to the body. So let's take a look at how we can tip those scales back. The first place, of course, to start is always to address the root cause, which is the free radicals and where they're coming from. So living our lives in a more healthful way, trying to reduce the amount of stress that we're experiencing, eating a more healthful diet, trying to get a little bit more sleep. So those are some obvious ways that we can reduce free radical production. But we don't live in a perfect world, and we live in a fast-paced society. So let's look at the other side of that scale, which would be increasing our supply of antioxidants and how that could balance things out. So important to know that it's not just one antioxidant that's going to do the job. We really need to get a brigade of antioxidants. They work in different ways. Some are fat soluble, some are water soluble. So we want to get an abundant supply of many different kinds of antioxidants. And of course, our first place to get those is always to look into our diet. So eating more brightly colored vegetables, more fruits and vegetables. However, because of the way that we harvest food, we have poorly depleted soils, and also our own bioavailability of nutrients in our gut is often compromised. So for those reasons, this is one category when we need to increase antioxidants that I really do recommend supplementation. So the takeaway here is the balance. We really want to make sure that we're consciously looking every day at how we're balancing our lives, how we're balancing those triggers for stimulation of free radical production, and how we're balancing our intake and optimizing our intake of antioxidants. We want to avoid that chronic, low-grade, long-term oxidative stress in our bodies. It dramatically affects the rate at which our body ages, our predisposition to disease, and our skin health. If you want more information on how to optimize your intake of essential nutrients, specifically antioxidants, and also the delivery system for getting those into the body, visit skinrni.com.